Hiya, welcome to this month's Q&A. It's November. So we'll get started. The first one is from Anyway, at Rosemary Ferguson, I'm struggling with a rare form of rosacea, leading me to have raw pink bumps on the side of my chin. Any food nutrition advice to complement a good skincare regime? Rosacea is often a lack of a pancreatic enzyme called lipase, so I would always supplement with something called lipozyme at mealtime, so that should help it. It's also an inflammatory condition, so we want to get the inflammation down a bit. So things like fish oils, all our favourites, fish oils, good probiotic, and prebiotic food in rosacea is really important. So things like chicory, artichoke, leeks, all those foods which help create a good place for the gut colony to grow are really important. So think about that. Other things for skin. Vitamin A is very good, and zinc is very good for healing skin. So give those a go. Yeah, okay. Hope that helps. At Kelly Breiter. Since having my baby, I find I'm very reliant on sugar for energy. Any idea what I can do to boost my energy that is breastfeeding friendly? Thanks. When you say sugar, are we talking like refined sugars? Are you having sugar in your tea? Because if you are, that's unfortunately like it's going to be a sort of catch-22, like it'll lift you and then, you get that sugar peak and trough. So the sugars you want to be having, are carbohydrates, but they're complex carbohydrates. So things like brown rice, oats, which would be, they'd all be great. They'd be really breastfeeding friendly. They would give you a slower burning energy. They're really good fuel. Whole grains, anything whole grain, nuts, seeds, all those whole grainy, fibery type carbohydrate and good fats are really good for that. I was thinking of a postnatal vitamin, and New Chapter do a really nice postnatal vitamin, and it's called a postnatal supplement, which will cover everything, and it's kind of a one-stop shop, and they're a really nice, very natural brand, so I thought they'd be quite good for you. But the sugar thing, yeah, if you are doing like refined sugar, it's going to be making your energy levels much worse at the end of the day. You need to be getting your energy from, like whole foods basically. Evie_Porter, tips on staying on track during the festive season, please. I don't want to binge on chocolate orange this year. Okay, well, the chocolate orange, you're going to have self-discipline, because I can't stop eating that, and they're really good, and the centre of it is absolutely delicious. And once you open them, they're really hard to not eat the whole thing. So all I can suggest on that is self-motivation, and that goes for quite a lot of the festive season sort of craziness. But there are things you can do. A 16-hour fast or an 18-hour fast, I'd go with 16. A 16-hour fast is a really, really good way of maintaining kind of like a slight mindfulness through the festive period, because it's basically where you just let your body rest on the digestive front between the hours. I do it from, I do it from 8 p.m. until 12 p.m. the next day. So you just during those times, you drink loads of herbal tea, you get loads of hydration, loads of water. I drink juices in that time, green vegetable juices. I would even have a smoothie. I just have liquids during that time. And that's a really good way of just letting the body rest. And as I said, being mindful is kind of brings you back in line instead of going off. The rest of it, self-discipline is a big one at this time of year. And I think just remembering that, you don't have to drink and eat everything today. You can also have a bit of chocolate tomorrow, and you can have some next week. And it's not the last time you're going to see a glass of champagne. That's what my opinion is. But I think that the intermittent fast, daily fast, is not a bad way to go about this festive season and self-discipline. Okay, and next is at Tainshy. Hello, any advice or helpful tips on insomnia? I cut out caffeine 10 years ago. I follow a healthy diet and really trying to cut down on sugar, but tends give me much needed energy boost. It tends to give me a much needed energy boost. I am wheat intolerant, thank you. Again, sugar is something that will cause peaks and troughs. So it will cause an unsettled blood sugar level, unsettled insulin response, and will cause unsettled energies, basically. You won't have a stable energy. So in theory, your energy levels should be at the top in the morning and go through the day and, go till you go to sleep. Obviously, some people have different rhythms. Everyone has their own. So it depends how you are. But if you're having insomnia, sugar's not the best thing to have, obviously, because it might upset that rhythm. So try having a more slower burning fuels, again, like, brown rice, oats, you're intolerant to wheat, so that's not a big issue because there are so many other things out there. There's quinoa, there's buckwheat, which isn't wheat, even though it's got wheat in the name. And then things like, you know, I was thinking about your bedtime routine. You know, what do you do at bedtime? Are you on your phone? Are you on your computer? Are you with the screen? Try to cut out all that. Try to really start getting into the sleep. You know, try to go through. It's kind of like a routine which trains your brain that, okay, now we're going to go to sleep. Also, magnesium is the go-to, which I'm sure you probably would have tried if you've had insomnia for 10 years. But try having an Epsom salt bath before bed. It's quite tricky to treat, and it would be interesting to know a bit more about where it's coming from. Are you waking up in the night? Are you finding it difficult to go to sleep at night? But for a start, I would definitely start with looking at your bedtime protocol and what's going on in your bedroom when you go to sleep. Alessandra Jane Designs. I have discovered Hippocrates soup and enjoy it twice a day as it cleanses my and it has cleaned me and made me shine. Should I continue maybe once a day, a week, a month? Well, if it's working for you, which it obviously is, then yeah, I would carry on doing it. Hippocrates soup is, I mean, you know, Hippocrates is an amazing philosophy, an amazing man, but I think that it's probably not giving you quite enough substance. So I would, if I was you, I would definitely, once a week on this would be fantastic. It would be a really, it's like doing a weekly fast, liquid fast, and I think, you know, it's very, very effective, and it does keep the shine in you. It keeps your bounce, it keeps you motivated. So I would do it once a week at the most. I think probably twice. I think you need to, it depends what else you're eating in the day. But if you're having 2 meals and that's all you're having, I think you will need more substance than that to keep your energy levels up. But I'm really glad it's working for you, and brilliant, good for you. Now at Luna_Stelina_41, she's got an issue with gas. And she said that her partner says that she's very, very gassy. And she says she thinks that people in England don't fart. Well, that's not true, I don't think. But anyway, but if you're very gassy, you say you eat a lot of pulses, vegetables, fruit, nuts dried, fruit, oat, quinoa and brown rice. So pulses are notoriously gassy because so you're eating a very high fibre diet, which is fantastic. But perhaps you're having trouble breaking it down. So often number one, fruit should be eaten before you have a meal. Lots of people most people, everybody eats fruit after a meal. Now fruit digests lower down the gut than most food. You know, so you've got sugars here, just roughly, fats here, protein here, fats here, and then fruit's down in the duodenum too. So if you eat fruit on top of a steak and chips, the fruit is going to sit on top of that steak and chips until that steak and chips is digested. So the fruit sits here and it ferments, and that causes gas. Also, any food in the gut that's not being digested or broken down properly will cause gas. So what you want to do is chew your food. Number 1, chew. Number 2, take your time. Number 3, make sure that your gut is working properly. So if you're suffering with bloating or anything like that, then I would suggest looking at taking apple cider vinegar before you eat to help stimulate the gut juices so that it's moving and that everything's ready to digest your food. Turmeric is something else you can think about. It's really good to have with pulses and lentils and legumes. It just helps it helps the bloating and the gas formation. There is something else. You might have a bacteria called methyl. It's one of the bacteria that are in the gut, and if it's slightly higher, you'll be creating a lot of methane, which might be the issue. But you'd have to do a stool test to find that out. Okay, I hope that helps, and I hope it's your boyfriend too. At Lizzie Leak 1975, any tips for acid reflux? I'd love to do a juice detox, but I'm worried my insides would combust top alkaline foods, etc. Okay, well, first things first, most people think acid reflux is because you have too much acid in your gut. Acid reflux is usually because you don't have enough, which sounds weird because it feels like it's burning and it feels like bloody hell, this is so acidic and painful. But if you think about it, when your gut can't, when the acid in your stomach is slightly low and it's not strong enough, when you eat food, the food goes in and it doesn't break down, so it sits there. And it then causes reflux because it's not going through the gut, it's not going through the alimentary canals. So basically it causes the reflux. It means that's what causes the reflux, because you need to, and then of course we all take blooming Rennies, which is alkaline, so it makes the gut acid even lower, even less. So the thing to do is to start looking at, as I said before, apple cider vinegar is a really good one to get the gut juices flowing. It creates, it means that the bile juice is stimulated from the gallbladder. The other thing you could think about is doing an HCl supplement or a digestive enzyme. I would suggest doing one of those 3 things to start with and see how you get on. And doing a juice fast, I don't think you should have trouble with the juice fast unless you're having depends what you're drinking. Sugar will always create acid reflux. It will create that because it just irritates the gut. But if you're having vegetable juices, sort of green juices, you should be okay. Miss Hills, Miss_HILZ. Rosemary, I have 2 young children under 5 who are still up at night. What would you recommend for energy instead of depending on caffeine in the mornings? Thank you. Well, I don't know, because it sounds really pious, whatever you're going to say to this, because I know how it feels and you're exhausted. And actually, I'm going to tell you to do a little bit of exercise and you're going to say, are you insane? I've got no time to do that. But I was thinking more of like, it sounds stupid, it really works. Getting a little trumpet, just doing 5 minutes on that, will just get the blood flowing a bit. So you just sort of get rid of it, shake off the night, and then you're sort of, it's better than a cup of coffee, but it will feel like you've had a cup of coffee. It just gets the energy moving. Try it. Don't judge me till you've tried it. The other thing that I thought of was matcha tea. I thought you could have a matcha, which is a caffeine, but it's a different type of caffeine. It works differently, and I think, well, it doesn't exhaust your adrenals basically so much. A cup of coffee is not a bad thing. 1 cup of coffee a day is not a bad thing, but if you're using it, as you said, to give you energy, that's not great, because it just means your adrenals, your body's telling you you're tired and you're still going, I don't care. But whereas if you do jumping, it doesn't have the same effect on your adrenal glands. Maybe try and get a morning nap in. Are they at school yet? Anyway, okay, I hope that helps too. Okay, at John W866, trying to cut back on dairy products, switch to non-dairy milks, yogurt, desserts, etc. Yet vegan Yet vegan cheese, pizza, and others don't satisfy. Suggestions, thanks. Well, when you say non-dairy, are you talking about? So to me, dairy is cows. So if someone's off dairy, they're off cows, because they are slightly different to cows, sheep, goat. So what about goat or sheep? Cheese, there's lots and lots of stuff out there. And then I would, so for vegan, I don't know which vegan cheese you're having, but there are some really great vegan cheeses that are made out of cashew nut, and they're quite substantial because they've got good fats in them from the nuts, so they sort of give you that satiating, the fat hit that you need, that you get from normal cheese. So you could try that. I don't know which ones you're having, because some are not made. Get the cashew nut, get ones made out of nuts. The cheese is made out of nuts, because they work a lot better for vegan cheese. So sorry, I don't know, because I don't know if you're vegan now or if you're just cutting out the dairy, the cow dairy. So you could, so I hope either one of those answers is good. Also, things like almond cheese or anything with those nuts in it, those fats will help you, I think, feel satisfied. At Dalinisagadiva, nutrition for mental health and the study of gut health is also associated to mental health, yes. What would you recommend to keep your gut and your brain happy, and vice versa? Well, it's true. So 90% of our serotonin, our happy happy hormone, is made in our gut. So it really is crucial to our well-being. And the more we go and investigate about the gut, the more we find that it's linked to depression and all sorts of things, and mood. So the obvious things are probiotics and prebiotics, making sure that the gut colony is happy. Making sure that you're having a regular bowel movement. If you're not, then there's something wrong. Making sure it's a good consistency, making sure there's not too much bloating. Chewing your food is really crucial for that sort of stuff. And then keep your brain happy. So there's so as I said, serotonin is made in the gut. There's a brilliant supplement you can get called 5-HTP, which is a precursor to it helps make serotonin basically. So that's really a good one to get to. So probiotics, 5-HTP. Also anything anti-inflammatory. So magnesium would be nice for the gut. Fish oils are good for the gut. And then also there's a lot of chat at the moment about CBD oil, which is shown to be really good for anxiety. So that would be a good thing to include as well, I think, probably. And I think just trying to reduce stress. So something like yoga and meditation is really good for both. Calming, because you notice when your brain is calmer, your gut is calmer, that people who get terrible like cramps and stuff, it can often be to do with stress, which is emotional. So yeah, they're very linked. At Sylvia Docchio, what are your recommended top vitamins to have in winter for overall immune defence for 40 plus women? Vitamin D, C, B. Any other supplements to add for an active mum? I used to prefer multivitamins in one, but now I am more into taking individual supplements, no more than 3 types a day. Any thoughts on that? Thanks. Okay, well, D, C and B are great vitamins to take. D is brilliant through the winter for sure. B is a really good one for stress, and you know, we're all very stressed, so B gets sort of zapped very quickly. A probiotic for women, a women's probiotic would be a good thing to take. It's very, you know, nice to keep you, it's really good for your immune system, a probiotic. I suppose I would also think about something like an ashwagandha is nice, just it's a general good for the hormones. It's an adaptogenic herb, so it will help level out anything that's going on. It helps balance. So that would be a nice one. And also, depending on where your hormone levels are, women after 40 are tending to start changing. So agonist castors would be another thing that I would have to think about taking, just for general, actually, not so much just for winter. But yeah, I think those would be good. You could look at echinacea. I mean, really, it would be ideal if you're getting all your vitamins and minerals and nutrition from your diet. That's what we aim to do. So make sure you're having a really wide variety of coloured vegetables and fruit every day. Whole grains, fresh food, you know, that's the best way to boost your immune. Okay, I hope that helps. So I shall see you again next month. See you then. Bye.